With me now is Jack from Olpro, and he's here today at the Armed Forces Covenant Employer Celebration, and we're going to find out more from Jack now, indeed, about his business and the benefits of joining the Armed Forces Covenant. Thanks for coming today, Jack.
No, happy to be here.
Great. So tell me a bit about the business. I know you've previously come from service as well, so far away.
So I'm a service leaver. I left the Royal Marine Commandos in January last year, served 12 years. Reasons for leaving, sort of quite deep, shall we say. Probably not enough sort of time to go in today, but in the grand scheme of things, how to put this kind of politely, I lost an emotional connection to it. Let's put it that way. The novelty wore off. Now work for a really lovely company, which is Worcester-based, called Olpro. That's Oscar Lima Papa Romeo Oscar.
Like it.
Yep, transferable skill, phonetic alphabet. We specialise in driveway awnings, tents and canvas designed for the likes of your VW transporters that have been converted into camper vans, motorhomes and caravans, and other associated accessories for the leisure industry.
Cool. So this is brilliant, your lived experience in that sense. What sort of transferable skills do you think you've sort of ascertained to bring to the business,
Yeah, we talked about down there, like aircraft engineers, but, it goes back, strip it right back to basic things. You'll get, lads leaving the infantry battalions who have left school with no GCSEs and they think to themselves, right, I've been a sniper for 10 years. I've carried a sniper rifle around for 10 years. What the hell can I give to the likes of BAE Systems? But it just, again, back down to those Billy basic week one, day one skills, like being able to have a shave for an interview, iron your clothes, polish your shoes, have your name tagged the right way up. All these little things that we actually forget when you come through the door and you sit down, an employer looks at you and they get that first kind of impressions. It doesn't matter whether you might be the best person in the world at fixing Land Rovers. If you can't brush your teeth and iron your clothes, that's you out the door. And it's little things like that a lot of employers still today in 21st century look for.
Absolutely, it is those very core mechanics, isn't it? In that sense, that make us, like we said, going into work and things like this, and going from service into work. It's those skills that regular people you might not think so much about. However, these are hard-earned skills a lot of the time that have been put through the test and rigorously at that.
Yeah, they are. When I first joined Olpro, I was putting sellotape on. I was picking and packing from the shelves, and I thought, right, how can I shine here? Because I want to move up. I want to get out of the warehouse. And, just an attention to detail, making sure that, a customer's going to receive a £500 awning. I don't want it to look like it's been thrown around at Heathrow Airport.
Yep.
So it's little things like that. And then, once you then move into the office, it's a whole different ball game. The warehouse for me was a very easy environment because it was kind of sort of roughy, tufty, kind of physical. Before I worked for Olpro, I used to work for a forestry firm on chainsaws, and that was the same. It was like, treat the chainsaw like a weapon system. There's a dangerous end, there's a safe end, there's an end that you stand at. So, yeah.
And it's knowing it in and out as well, isn't it? It's equipment, it's loyalty, it's determination, it's drive, these things. And like you say, in the factory, you can apply certain skills in one way, and then, like you said, you work your way up and you might find yourself in an office. You're using other skills that you've previously learned throughout service, then in a different environment.
Yeah, and definitely I found the office environment actually more challenging than patrolling the streets in Afghanistan.
It's a complete polarised environment, really, isn't it? From what you've gone, serving to an office space, it is a completely different environment, and it's about applying yourself in that way. So you're on the Covenant, Olpro are on the Covenant. What would you say, obviously, to employers thinking of doing so?
I would say I think what it does is you've got to think about it from my point of view. As soon as I heard that my employee had signed the Covenant, it made me feel instantly warm. It made me feel like, okay, these guys might not necessarily have any connection to the military, the military is, apart from Call of Duty and films, it is a alien world. Yeah. It's behind barbed wire and cameras and dogs. But as soon as I saw that flash up on his computer, I thought, I actually trust you a bit more, and I feel like you've attended these events and you've actually invested in me arriving here. Because it is nervous when you leave the military. You might have served in the bloody special forces, but walking it to a civilian employer, is sometimes you get flustered, you don't know where to begin, you don't know how to translate your career over to them. But as soon as you see that covenant sign, you just feel like, okay, these guys are on side.
That's it. I was about to say, as soon as you see that sticker in the window, it's right, they're on my team here. This is good. This is all I need. You know, I'm going to start on that level playing field. I'm not at a disadvantage at all. And I think that's what it's about.
That's it. Yeah, no, that's it. It's not a disadvantage. It is an advantage. It is giving you it's giving you a window of opportunity. It's letting you know, we understand where you're coming from. We understand that, you might need a bit more time to explain yourself. And it just makes you feel like that there's a bridge that leads into that barbed, wired, camered society, which we always think is... Because it's going to sound mental. When you're in the military, especially the Marines, we called this world the outside world. Outside camp was the outside world. Behind the wire, over the wire, you guys, civvies.
Yeah.
Much worse language. And... there is a very them and us, but seeing that logo is like, okay.
It's building that bridge, like you say. It is connecting those two worlds in a way. And it's that shared dialogue, which I think is really important. It goes both ways then as well. It's not just about what support's available, but you guys can say, this is the support we need. And without that dialogue, you don't go anywhere. So I think that's what's really important here.
No, you're right. And I feel like I am a really good candidate for this role at Olpro, purely because I am enthusiastic about actually giving back to service leavers, allowing them to benefit, and I think it's not opening employees' eyes, but I think my employees knew a little bit about the military, but they didn't really understand. I think some of the struggles which service leavers like myself may have been facing quietly as well, keeping to themselves.
No, this is really important. Jack, thank you for joining me today. It's great. Like I said, this is a really important discussion that you're having here, and it's great that you're so open and honest about it as well, because I think that's what's going to lead the way and lead the charge and make these changes as well. So absolutely keep that up. You're doing great things.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all.